In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the day that I died. Now, before we get to telling the story about the day that I died, I'm going to tell you about a dream that I had when I was 5 years old. Now, as a kid, I already started to show signs of having gifts. I know that now, but as a kid, I didn't know what it meant. Now, when I was 5 years old, this dream came to me, and of course, without having a understanding of how vast the world is, without knowing as many details or seeing them with my own eyes, so that those images and definitions can be in my brain, what tended to happen was everything in the dream looked like a kid's drawing, like a stick figure, besides the thing that was chasing me and my family. Now, at the time, it was me, my younger brother, my mom holding my younger sister, my first younger sister. I have a lot of siblings after that. It was just the first of us, all the oldest. And we was at this park or this playground, and it was on a swing set. And everything and everybody was stick figures except for me and the thing that was chasing us. Now, what came to chase us, it was all black shadow figure. It was dressed in black robes and black garbs, and it had something in his hand while it was chasing us. Now, of course, with the imagery that's pushed to us through society today, as I got older, I started to refer to that image that I saw chasing me and my family was death. Now, I don't know if because I was influenced by the things I saw as I got older that I remember it that way, but that's what I saw. I was myself, clear as day. Death was what the image of death was. And I was trying to warn them. I was trying to tell them, like, we gotta go. Let's get out of here. Let's leave the park. Let's leave the playground. We have to go. Let's get out of here. Let's go, go, go. So I'm still streaming everything. Oh, my computer set up. So as we started to run out of there, my brother tripped. And I'm trying to, like, you pushing somebody up, helping them jump over the gate, you behind them, you trying to make them run faster instead of just taking off running past them. I was trying to make sure we all got away at a even pace, and we was all getting away. I was trying to protect them from death. And all I can remember is just being in a constant motion of running. And then I woke up. Now, as years come to pass and things from that dream started to take place, everything in the dream was metaphorically. Everything that took place in my life, or growing up in my mother's abusive relationship, running from house to house, and me being, the oldest and trying to protect the family, be the man of the house as we ran away from our abusive stepfather and stuff like that, it came into play. So, around the age of 8 was my first near-death experience. And I don't know why they say near-death experience. Like, almost every day your life is in danger. Like, almost 90% of our regular lives is a near-death experience. Every time you get on the highway, that's a near-death experience. Somebody's switching lanes, swerving, trying to kill you. Every time you over a family member's house, they playing with a gun or got drugs or guns and drugs and everything. It's stuff being growing up in the hood. It's around you every day. Like, anything could kill you at any possibility. And the risk is higher because there's so many things around, so much drugs and guns and violence around you. I don't know, you always had a near-death experience, like, all the time. But when I was 8 years old, my mother was pregnant with my younger sister. We was over my stepfather's family's house, and his auntie had a dog, and I can't remember what type of dog it was. I think it was like one of them little hairy dogs, like something I should have been afraid of, but it was a backstory behind that. I was running from that dog because her son or adopted son, I can't remember the full story because I was 8. He was, while the parents was out and, getting groceries and shopping and setting up the house for us, because they was going to be in the hospital, and, they was getting things for our auntie to take care of us and getting us some clothes and stuff like that. And we was waiting for my mother to go into labor, and we had it all planned out that we was going to, be babysat by her. And for some time they left the house, and her adopted son was sicking a dog on me, making me afraid of it. Like, I knew this dog was going to attack me. I knew this dog was going to bite me at his command. He was had some type of condition or some type of ailment where all I remember is they said he had to take Ritalin. I have no idea, Ritalin or something. But 1 minute he would be one person, and we were sitting down. He was playing this computer game. I was like, "That's dope. He got a computer," and I didn't know what a computer was, And he was showing me this computer game he had, like RPG at the time. I know what it is now, but and for some reason, to me, he looked like Soulja Boy. It's always funny. Like, I remember Soulja Boy was bullying me like, twice in my life. I ain't even go. That's another story time video. But it's not the real Soulja Boy. But he used to take, like, the stairway used to go up in the stairs, but the balcony, the banister to the stairs was low. And I was able to stand on the access point from the platform, where you walk up the stairs, then it's a platform, then you walk up the next flight, up to the top, how you go up the flight of stairs. The platform was like a square base, and I was able to stand on it because it was short, it wasn't tall, or, So I climbed on it, and it was flat, like a flat square, and I stood on that, and he like, "Skid him, at him," and he was laughing at me being afraid that the dog was going to bite me, because I wasn't afraid of the dog. I was afraid that I was going to be attacked, because the dog was under his control. He was sicking, like, "Get him, get him, get him, get him," and he was, pushing me to interfere. So it's not like I was actually scared. I was just worried that I was about to get bit, not the dog, but getting bit and chewed on itself, you know what I'm saying? So because he traumatized me to believe that he could do it whenever he wanted to. He could sick the dog on me. So at any random time when he had one of his spasms or whatever, his outburst, he would get into this playful mode where he started smiling and like he was real friendly, but he would be doing bad things. And that's the first experience I had with what I call as bright eyes. It's like I don't know, I'll tell you about that in another story. So he was just smiling, he like, "Get him," but he was like so happy inside of seeing me running from this dog, and knowing that he had the power to sick this dog on me. So that's the backstory behind that. I eventually went outside, and he sicked the dog on me. So I think my parents had left. I went outside to see them off, or whatever, however that went. And when I was trying to come back in the house, he sicked the dog on me, because now the dogs are gone, and he's changed to another whole person. Now the dog at the door, the little teeth is, I'm like, man, I can't go back in there, because I ain't about to. Either he gonna beat on me himself, or he gonna sick this dog on me, or hold me down, let the dog get me. I'm like, I ain't got time to be bullied. So I was like, I ain't worried about it. So I wasn't in fear, I just didn't want to deal with that, you know what I'm saying, getting bit or beat up or whatever. And so I sat on the porch, and I remember it was daylight outside, and I was just sitting on the porch. I don't even remember what I was thinking or looking at. I was just looking at the trees, looking at the people across the street, looking at traffic. And it was this island in the middle of the street. Like, the houses on this side, and then you have the road going that way, and then it's the island, and then you have the road going the other way, and then it's, the houses on the other side. So it was the island in the middle of the street. It was like it was some, rich neighborhood or whatever. So like some suburban middle class, like Indian Village type stuff. That's a Indian Village. That's something in Detroit. But oh, let me check the battery life. Oh, I'm good. So I stayed on the porch until they got back from whatever they was doing. I remember they was trying to like get the car fixed and just set stuff up for the pregnancy, minding their own adult business. And I just sat there on the porch for hours, and the sun went down. It's like getting dark now. Like, so I'm just sitting there. As soon as they come back, they get all the groceries, they get everything out, and they bringing all the toys and food and stuff in the house. They open the door, the dog come out. I took off. Gone. Soon, because the dog already was, now even though he switched back to his I'm a good kid character, the dog was already prepped and aimed on me like a heat-seeking missile. The dog was just standing there. He wasn't even barking. He was just waiting for his opportunity. So when they opened the door, they probably thought nothing of it, because they don't know what was happening in the house, when I was just, us kids by ourselves or whatever. So if I was 8, this boy had to be like 15 or 16 or something. And so when they came home, they bring groceries in. I'm trying to help. The dog come right out, shoots. I take off, jump off the porch, jump the stairs, gone. I'm getting low, like insane low. I'm just digging into the ground, running. And I remember we went to the Payless or the Foot Locker or something. And I picked these sandals out, like, you know, the sandals that, like these Jerusalem sandals, like these Jesus Christ sandals. I had these sandals I just had, and no socks, and I had it was like a strap across the toes and a strap across around the ankle, and I just had these sandals on. I remember I was just digging, like I could feel my feet touching the dirt. I was running so fast, and I'm not looking back, and I hear my mom like, she's like, Shay, stop, rah. She's like, Shay, stop, the dog not even chasing you. I'm like, not even thinking about it. I'm just like, I'm already on the mission. So I must already plotted this out. Like, if something happened, I'm gonna run over there. I'm gonna jump on that car across the street. So I must have, because I can't remember why was I so focused. It was like I was being controlled. Like, it was nothing that I can do about this. It was like fate. So I remember I just took off and I had a point I was going, and I don't even remember no thoughts. It was just the action that felt like it had to take place. So I'm just running. My mom behind me, holding her belly like, oh my God. Oh, she gone. She hiking behind me. She's like, Rashay, stop with your Jesus sandals. So next thing I know, I get across the island onto the oncoming traffic on the other side going that way, and I see headlights. And then next thing I see is the sky, and then the ground, and then in front of me, or what was it, like the traffic that way in front of the headlights, the oncoming street, like the cross street, the sky, the ground. And I remember just seeing that playing, like north, south, east, west, just rolling like that. So I remember I was just rolling, and I was just holding my own like that. So I'm tensing up and I'm holding like this, and I remember I was like, a great force pushed me, and I was just trying to hold myself up, and I'm rolling, and I got myself up, and I was rolling up. And after I stopped rolling, I stood up and I looked around. I still not knowing what's going on. I see this dude come out this van. It was like some sort of shade of blue, and I feel like I'm walking like a drunk person. I'm slurring like, oh my God. So I'm like, what in the world? And I see people across the street looking like, damn, he's strong. Like, I'm like, what is happening? My mom like, oh my gosh, she just sit down. You gotta sit down, baby, sit down. I'm like, what? She's like, just stay still. And then my stepdad come over like, wake up, don't go to sleep on me. Don't go to sleep. My stepdaddy's sitting there, like, he, you know, really, he was caring after me like as if I was his own son. Like, he was like, stay up, son. Stay with me. Like, I remember they was trying to make me stay awake, and the memory is blurry, but come to find out, while I was running, the dog was just running to get out the house. Apparently he was trying to get away from the boy too. He ran to get out the house. Yay, he forgot all about me. So I'm thinking, because I was already traumatized from being bullied, that this dog is chasing me. But he wasn't. He was just running out the house, just happy to get outside. He took off in the opposite direction, and we made like, let me do it to the camera. He made like the V. So as I went straight across the street from the house, he went in that direction, and he got hit by the car first. And after the van hit the car, after the van hit the, I'm trying to correct myself. After the van hit the dog, he started to speed up, and that's how he hit me, because I went that way. So the V we made, he hit the dog first, killed the dog, hit me, rolled me down the street, and because he sped up. So now he like, oh my God, I was trying to get away from hitting that dog, and I was just gonna pull a hit and run. Nah, I didn't hit a kid who was running from that dog. So it was all bad, but that's not when I died at all. They said it was a miracle. I still got the scratches, you know, up my knees. I got like scars down my leg, like from the road rash. I think that's what they call it. Like when I was scraped, because it appears that I was like literally holding myself in position. Somehow, at 8 years old, I was holding myself up from him running me over with the car. Somehow, I had to be protected. There's no way that an 8-year-old this size, you know, a little homie can just hold his own with a car in the ground and flip down the road. But I remember everybody was looking so sad, and like I remember their faces, and people was just like, he tough, man, he's strong, like he got a heart. He just got right up and walked it off like it was nothing, like he an OG and all this stuff. But that's not when I died. 2 years later, you know, we still, I'm still having visions, I'm still having dreams, things still coming true. I'm not paying no attention to it because most of my dreams happen where it happens like 2 years later or 5 years later or 3 years later or a month later. And that's how most of my dreams happen. Like I already dreamed about my years as a teenager when I was a kid. And I started seeing more and more of my dreams. Like, dang, I remember this dream. I remember this place. Like, I was here before. Why was I here before? Why? Like, what is this building? What is this grocery store? What is this street? I was on this intersection. So as I got older, I started to pay more attention to it and started looking for those signs and started to notice things. But it seemed like no matter how much I intervened, I couldn't change anything. So I always just took it as if I was somewhere that I seen on the dream, then I must be on the right path. So I never looked at it. I was like, okay, so if something lined up with the dream that I had when I was 5 or 8, and now I'm 18 going through something, and I'm 20 going through something, and I'm like, then everything must be worth it. I must be in the right direction because this was already given to me. Where I was going to be at in the future was already taught to me as a kid. So no matter how hard I think it is, or you know, how if I'm financially going through something or emotionally going through something, or you know, family wise or relationship wise, I'll be like, I'll just be driving somewhere and see something, I'll be like, okay, I'm on the right path. But anyways, 2 years later, I was 10 years old. That's the day that I died. Before I turned 11, I remember it was Christmas time because we was getting gifts. I remember it was just after Christmas. I don't think it was New Year's yet. It was just after Christmas because my birthday in January. So it wasn't the New Year and I wasn't 11 yet. I was still 10. I feel like a burp coming, but it's not. Like, leave me be so I can tell my story, bastard. But okay, sometimes it be cutting off. I gotta make sure it still be going. So oh yeah, okay. So it's Christmas time, and me and my younger siblings and my stepdad and my mom, we sitting in the room, and my mom's pregnant again. I remember that. We all sitting there, and it's like this big, you know, those big tubs of popcorn that come out, those big metal tins of popcorn with the Christmas stuff on it, and it's like the divider inside, and they got the 4 different popcorns in it. We in there smashing, like all of us tearing it up to the very bottom and shit. So I'm like, I'm getting my own little turn. My thing was those cookies that come, those butter cookies, to this day, like on God, to this day. So those butter cookies, just plain butter cookies, beast mode. So I got the little tin with the cookies, and I'm filling up with popcorn because I'm pretty sure we already ate the cookies earlier. So I'm trying to get my own section because they going to work. Like, it's a bunch of us. Like, I'm the oldest out of like 40 kids. But I remember us eating popcorn. I remember it was after the holidays. I remember my stepdad, he had to be playing True Crime Streets of L.A. That was his favorite game. It was hype because I remember I used to watch it like, what is this? Why is it called True Crime? Doesn't crime mean a bad thing? Like, why are we playing a game that say crime? I didn't get it as a kid, of course. My mom was like, man, I want some Haagen-Dazs. That's her favorite thing, I swear to God. Like, Haagen-Dazs. So, am I saying it right? Haagen-Dazs? Haagen-Dazs? You know what I mean? So she, let me check the battery life. Oh, I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna have to switch the battery out and do another. I might make this part 1 and part 2. She said, I want some ice cream. She rubbing her belly, she laying down like, I need some ice cream. I just feel like, we ain't got no ice cream. She like, so I think she talked to my stepdad, like, we ain't got no ice cream. So he's like, don't worry about it, I just send the boys to go get some. I'm 10. My brother a year and a half younger than me, so he probably, like, before I turn it, at some point of the year, it seems like I'm 2 years older than him, but I'm not. It's just his birthday in June, right at the half. My birthday in January, right at the beginning. So, right, I turn a year before the 6 months catch up. I look like I'm 2 years older than him. So he could have been 8 or 9, give or take. So he like, just go to the store. Because I remember back in the day, we had way more responsibility as, you know, youngins. We had more responsibility and more trust in the community and society and stuff. Like, not today. Now it's like, it's a lot of, you know, divide and conquer going on. I remember he was like, babe, give me $10 so I could send him to the store. Like, he ain't even paid for it. He sent us to the store with my mama's money to go get her some ice cream. Like, oh my God. I was like, this dude a sucker, bro. He a lame. I remember thinking that, like, this bum ass with your bum ass. I don't know. So we get suited up, we get our new Christmas coats and gear and stuff on. I'm pretty sure half of it came from the Goodfella box. We go down, before we go out the door, like, dang, that's what got me AT from Cleveland. My mama was always talking about keeping a knife on us just in case I get AT, because my mama gave me a knife I put in my backpack. Bastard, hood shit. But I took this knife with me, and my brother, he took this, it's so hot in my studio, god damn, but I gotta close the door to get the soundproof from the rest of the whole house, you know. But my brother took his race car, and I remember every time I see this race car, I'll be like, that car look familiar. I'm thinking it's the one that they sell every year. It got the clear wheels on it, and it's like a little a spoiler in the back, but they got some wheels on the bottom, because when they do a catwalk, it can catch itself, and they go, and they got like these clear wheels, and they look like off-road tires with the little spikes, and it's all clear, and I think they light up. But it's the same monster, the little monster truck, the little, you know, racing car they sell every year. So he'd bring his car. We walk in. I remember this. I remember him saying I was lucky because I had a knife on me. I took the knife, disclosing that I was taking a knife and playing with it while I was walking, and I stabbed my own jacket. I was like, oh, I wonder what's inside of my jacket. Why is this like this? Why does it feel like this? Because I could have swore I seen some feathers in it. Like, do they just kill birds and put them in coats? How they got a whole bird factory? Like, is that what they do with the chicken feathers after they sell them to Tyson? Tyson take the feathers and make coats and shit. Like, I was just trying to wonder, like, what is. So I cut it, and I seen it because it was like feathers coming out the seams, and it was like all these feathers in this pocket. It was like pockets separate. So I cut one pocket and I had the feathers. I'm like, damn, it's like actual. So I'm investigating, but I put the knife back in my inner pocket, and then we was just walking. Next thing I know, I see Polaroids. Like, you take the picture and it comes out and you shake it, like, and you see the images. I saw Polaroids. Polaroids was being displayed from the time being to backward. I seen one Polaroid. It was me looking at my brother, and we was walking. Like, I was looking at the Polaroid of me and my brother walking down the street, and it got displayed like on the table or something. And then I seen another Polaroid of us back at the house, and then I seen another Polaroid of like me holding my sister or something. And it was just Polaroids. My life was playing backwards with pictures, and the pictures was playing, and it was moving like a movie, but it was going backwards in time. So my life was playing backwards. It didn't start at the beginning. It started at present to the past. And before it could finish, I remember just seeing all white. And I woke up and I was nothing. I was just energy. You know how you, from your POV, your point of view, I look down and you can usually see your hands and stuff like that in the dream or in real life, whatever. You look at your hands, I look down and I remember seeing all white. So I was not there. Everything was there. I was just one with energy, one with the nature or the flow of the universe. And when I looked up, in reference to what they teach in society, and there was no tunnel. I think that tunnel was just an illusion, because when you look up and you see that circle that I saw was the sun. So I was just energy, and I was rejoining with the sun to be recycled in the cycle of energy. That's what happened to me. And before I can go back up, I remember hearing my mother. I heard my mother, and I'm like, and it wasn't her like talking or crying or nothing like that. I remember, you know how when you live around somebody and you can hear them cry or sneeze, or when they walk up the steps, you know it's them. So I heard my mother, and it was like a zipper on her jacket or something, and my hearing was the first sense that I got back. So now I'm hearing and I'm listening, but I can't see now. So I'm just still seeing all white, but I'm hearing. And I'm hearing like keys jangling or the zipper on the jacket, and I'm hearing metal and stuff. I'm like, what is this? Now I'm hearing metal. Like, what is this metal that I'm hearing? So that's probably another thing. These all are references to the life that I live now, like a reference to metal and a reference to pictures that I seen, that I got when I was a kid. And I'm just now thinking about it, like, damn, that plays out into today, like the path that I lived, the jobs that I took, the things that I took in welding and photography and video production and stuff like that. But I remember hearing. Then I started hearing voices. I couldn't make out what the voices were saying. That was like, blah, 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 blah. Move this, move that, do this, do that, do that. I'm like, what is that sound? What is going on? Like, and then I started hearing my mama. I heard something like sniffles or something. Like, okay, now I can hear her crying or something like that. Something like that. I'm hearing something, and I don't remember her crying or know if she was crying or not. After hearing, I can see. After hearing, because I was just all energy, and it was just all like this, like the sun. Like, you don't know if it's white or yellow. It's like this just very bright light. I was just all one with energy of the universe. And next thing I know, while I was there, I blinked. And when I blinked this time, instead of just seeing all energy, I blinked again, and I can see through my eyes into this world. And in this world, I saw that I was in the back of an ambulance. And I was like, what? I was like, what is going on? Like, because I'm not understanding what's going on. Like, first, I'm looking at a table with Polaroids, and then I'm floating up to the sun as energy with no body. And then I'm hearing things before I can make it up. And I'm listening like, what is that? What's going on, you know? Okay, the camera got 1 minute. Let me pause this and come back. Okay, I got 169 minutes. All right, let's do this. So now, what I said, hearing that my sight came back. Yeah. So now my sight come back, and I open my eyes. I'm laying in the ambulance, and I'm looking up, and I remember seeing just checking the computers, make sure they still going. Sometimes they freeze up, and I see it was two, what they call them, EMTs, the EMS people. It was two EMS ambulance people there. Do they even call it ambulance anymore? I don't know, but the ambulance. But those two, and I remember them walking back and forth. Now they looking at me and stuff. I only got my hearing and my sight back. I don't have my sense of touch back. So I only got my hearing and my sight back. I can't speak, I can't move my mouth, and I can't feel. So I don't have my taste or control of my mouth and my voice, and I don't have my sense of touch back yet. So I can see my mom now. She had like this, was it like an overalls on? And it was like long sleeve overall, like the mechanics wear. And I do believe that it was my stepfather's. Like she just put it on, zipped it up, ran out the house, put his boots on. She had like his dirty old Timberlands on and the overalls on. And that's probably where I heard the jingling. He probably had some keys or something, I don't know, but I was hearing metal and I saw pictures. And I remember seeing her. She was on my right hand side, but I couldn't move, and I could see like the top of her head, and I could see people with hands moving over me and stuff like that. I know they checking my eyes, they flashing lights on me and stuff, like they trying to see what's going on, if I'm awake, like, oh, he's waking up, okay, yeah, we good, we got it. So I don't know what happened or what they did or what was going on, but the next sense I got back was my touch. I could feel pain, not pain actually, because I felt nothing. So I didn't feel pain until they touched me, but I still couldn't move. So I felt like I was being moved around, like they was, moving my body, and they put me up and put a neck thing on me. I'm sitting there like this with the brace on my neck, and they put me on. I think I was on the, what's them things called, the gurney, and they had like my chest open. They put the things on my chest or something they was doing, and then they had these scissors, and they was cutting my clothes off. They cut my pants open, they cut everything off. I guess now I know that they didn't want to damage any like broken bones or any parts of my body that could have been broken, so they was keeping me real still and just cutting my clothes off to check my body out. So now they checking me out and taking my clothes off and stuff. And I remember I was wet, and I was like, why am I wet? What happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? I felt that I was wet, and I felt the cold scissors coming up my leg as they was cutting my pants off. I felt, and then I was able to move after I started feeling stuff. I still didn't feel pain. I just felt numb, but I can feel like cold. I felt cold first. I can feel something that it was cold. I can feel the warm hands and the hot and cold. I can feel the warm hands and the body touching me, but the cold tools they was using on me, like the stethoscope and all these little sticky pads with the little gel, cold, the little scissors, cold, all the stuff was just cold that they was using, putting in my ear and putting in my eye and trying to take me out. So somebody moved my leg, and that's when I got up. I said, hey, what you doing? Something like that. I'm like, that hurts. What are you doing? I'm talking shit. Like, what the f wrong with you, bro? Like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, okay, now I can feel something. So now I'm all the way back, and I'm like, what is going on? Why are you touching on me? Like, you all in my pants. I don't know you, bro. What? It was like a dude on this side and a lady on that side. My mom was like, just she was trying to what's that word? It's a word I'm looking for. Comfort. I think that's comfort. She was trying to like comfort me and like just calm me down, soothing and be soothing, like just whatever, relax, whatever. I can't remember what she was saying, because now I can only focus on one of my senses at one time. Like now I can only focus on this. I couldn't hear anything now. Now I just feel them hurting me by moving my legs and moving my body around. So I'm telling them, hey, that hurts. But I guess they was like squeezing my leg and, tapping me here and moving me around to see what was hurt, what was broken, to test things out. So then I blacked out. And that's how the whole rest of the, I think my mother said it was like a week or two or something like that I was in the hospital. But to me, it felt like I was in there for like 4 months. Like, I felt like I was in there for 4 weeks. Like, I felt like I was in there for a long time. And I asked her just recently too, and she was like, oh, you was only in there like 7 to 8 days, like for a week or so. I was like, I thought I was in there for like a year. Like it felt time was slowed down, and I kept blacking out. I don't remember nothing from what happened before besides what I'm telling you. I don't remember nothing in that moment besides what I saw. And I kind of remember like my face hitting the windshield because I got hit by a car again, come to find out. So like that's what happened to this. My teeth got all chipped and broke up and moved around, and my jaw kind of offset some. And I never got it fixed, never cared about it. But my mama asked me, do you want to get your braces and get your teeth fixed, or do you want to get an Xbox 360? And I was 12 or 13. I was like, duh, I want an Xbox 360. You ain't give me 2 games. What you mean? What you saying? Give me that Call of Duty. Give me that Mortal Kombat we own. I think it was Soul Calibur or something like that. Soul Calibur, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty. One of those. Something like that. That's what I used to play. Like Soul Calibur, my favorite game. Oh God, I can't wait. I'm going to get on Soul Calibur one day. Watch. Please believe me. But apparently I died. So whether I came back before the ambulance came back, because I remember it cut short and I wasn't allowed to go up. I wasn't allowed to ascend. I was brought back into the ambulance. So, and I just remember hearing, it's not my time. It's not my time yet. So ever since then, like I take every day, every action, every friend, every job, every school, every dollar I make serious. Like a lot of people don't take that. They take being alive serious. You know, they take, I don't know, just like everybody's shallow about everything too. Like it's so many levels to being shallow, which all comes from a lack of knowledge and a lack of understanding of other people's lives and what the people go through in comparison, you know, like looks and things like this. Like I don't believe in none of that stuff, which is how I, you know, came up with the character Acid Man. Acid Man was first. It was my way to I think I was 11. You know, I told my mama to call me Acid. So I've been Acid since I was 11 years old. It was the first. It was like my gifts that I already had was amplified, and I had so much level of awareness. Like when I came back to life, I woke up 110 years old. Like what is so I'm started noticing things about people and situations and neighborhoods and societies, laws, rules that nobody else is paying attention to, and that created division. Now I feel isolated in my own home, my own parents, with my own family, with my own friends, in my own neighborhood, with my own race, in my own school, with my own community, with the human race. Like what is wrong with people? Like, so I just started to go within myself. So in order to calm myself down and not, you know, judge people for their lack of understanding of life or their lack of awareness, I came up with Acid. I was just quiet and observative. Like I just observed everything, and I just be quiet, and I started to, you know, bring my voice down like this. And then when I started talking like this, and I started to move slow, so basically I'm really just slowing myself down. Like I'm rapping in slow motion, I'm talking in slow motion, I'm thinking in slow motion. It's to slow me down from, you know, how fast I'm capable of thinking, of talking, of moving. So I slow myself down to fit in with everybody else. I started to just to try to go with the flow of the situation, go with the flow of the room. And I started to talk like this, and I started to relax. I'm like, yeah, I'm Acid Man. Fuck you, man. Yo. So that's how that character came about. Just so everybody know me, like in the streets, in the hood, in my school, and my jobs, everybody know me as Acid, you know. But that was the first, that's why it's called Acid Man Productions, because that part of me started it all. So each one of the characters refers to a part of my being that I have control in, as R.S. McClain. I am R.S. McClain. So each one of the characters represents, Rybaby represents the spiritual side of me and my connection to God and my past lives and all the memories that I have and all the visions that I have in my dreams, on my sleep. Colitas, aka Mr. Hip Hop, he refers to the mentality, how much creativity I have, how much energy, how much excitement I have, how much, you know, the level of thoughtness and artistic that I have, that is just like this super amount of energy just constantly blowing through my mind at all times. Like I can't even sleep. I sleep like 2 to 4 hours every day. Like I'm constantly in the studio. Like I write so much music. I got like 12 movies already written up since I was a kid. I got so much stuff that I'm writing in my head and doing in my head. And Acid Man, aka the Dragon, is physical, you know. The physical part of my being, because that's where everybody else lives at. Like they live from the physical and they're trying to get in touch with their spirit and don't understand that you are a spirit and you control your mind like a remote that controls your body. That's what I live by. And those three characters together work together to live the life that I lead. And you know, that's what I, you know, like to teach people how to, that you should be in control of every part of you, like whether you accept it or not, because whether you in control of your spirit or your mind, somebody else is. You need to take ownership. It's the same thing as like getting signed to a label or a deal or something, and you putting all your work and time in physically, but they own all of your mental, your intellectual property. They own all your masters. They own everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way. You need to own your mentality. You need to own your spirit, and y'all need to work together to make sure you living your best life. So like this video, comment at the bottom, tell me about any near-death experience or a time that you died that you remember. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Check me out on Spotify and Tidal and all the other digital platforms. And I'll see you the next time.
Why you playing with me? Look, man, I don't do that beef shit. Either we about it or we not. I'm trying to get this money. Yeah, let's go. Why you wanna try to hit on me? That is a glitter, man. Shake my hand to business with. Don't have no time for enemy. Why you wanna try to hate on me? That is a glitter, man. Shake my hand to business with. Don't have no time for enemy. Why you wanna try to hate on me? That is a glitter, man. Shake my hand to business with. Don't have no time.